Russia's announcement to retire its only aircraft carrier, the Admiral Kuznetsov, and prioritize drone and unmanned technologies over traditional naval assets has sparked widespread debate within global defense circles. This move, spearheaded by former Pacific Fleet Commander Sergei Avakyants, underscores a dramatic recalibration of military priorities, one that reflects both financial realities and evolving battlefield technologies. The Admiral Kuznetsov has long been emblematic of Russia's blue water naval ambitions. As the last aircraft carrier inherited from the Soviet Union, it once represented Moscow's intent to project maritime power far beyond its borders. However, decades of mechanical failures, costly repairs, and a tragic fire during maintenance in 2019 that claimed 2 lives have steadily eroded its operational viability. After years of delays and a repair bill exceeding 65 billion rubles, Russian defense authorities have opted to halt its refurbishment altogether. This decision is not merely logistical, it's deeply symbolic. The carrier's decommissioning reflects a broader reassessment of strategic priorities in a conflict environment increasingly dominated by unmanned aerial systems (UAS) and autonomous technologies. Evidence from the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war has significantly influenced this doctrinal shift. Drones have emerged not just as surveillance tools but as primary offensive weapons. On multiple fronts, low-cost, easily modified drones have caused outsized damage, transforming how both Russia and Ukraine conduct warfare. One illustrative moment occurred in late 2023 near Donetsk, when Russian soldiers reportedly encountered a small plastic drone, modified with an explosive payload and a soda bottle, that struck an ammunition box with precision. The resulting chain explosion caused disproportionate damage relative to the cost of the device, an estimated 5,000 yuan, around $700. This kind of asymmetric warfare, where cheap technologies neutralize high-value assets, has forced militaries to reconsider the cost-effectiveness of large traditional platforms. Moreover, drones have introduced psychological elements into modern combat. Ukrainian forces have used coordinated drone audio broadcasts, such as loudspeakers playing music, to disorient enemy troops before launching attacks with autonomous ground vehicles. These tactics are redefining the nature of battlefield engagement, requiring fewer human soldiers and introducing a new level of unpredictability. Russia has responded to this evolution with significant investment in drone development and production. Systems such as the Lancet, a loitering munition that targets tank vulnerabilities, and the Geranium series have been widely deployed. These drones are designed to hover, identify targets, and strike with high accuracy, often focusing on weak points like the top armor of tanks. This shift is also visible in military ceremonies. At Russia's annual Victory Day parade in May 2025, drone formations replaced traditional tank columns over Red Square, a clear signal of changing priorities. Defense contractors are now ramping up drone production with urgency, with some retired aerospace engineers returning to assembly lines to meet the demand. Russia's pivot toward unmanned platforms is not purely tactical. It reflects economic necessity. Maintaining a full-scale aircraft carrier requires tens of billions of dollars in construction, retrofitting, and operation, not to mention the protective fleets of destroyers, frigates, and submarines needed for support. Thousands of crew members must be trained, housed, and supplied around the clock. In contrast, drones offer a leaner alternative. A suicide drone that disables a tank may cost less than a smartphone. With the budget of a single aircraft carrier, a military could field thousands of drones capable of conducting reconnaissance, attacks, and electronic warfare simultaneously. For a nation balancing military ambitions with economic strain and international sanctions, this shift offers a clear short-term return on investment. However, the move away from aircraft carriers is not without drawbacks. Carriers provide more than combat capability, they symbolize global reach. They serve as floating air bases, capable of deploying air power far from home shores, which is particularly important for safeguarding maritime trade routes or maintaining a presence in international waters like the Mediterranean or the Indian Ocean. Without an aircraft carrier, Russia's ability to project naval influence becomes constrained. Its remaining surface fleet may struggle to assert presence without air cover in contested zones. From a geopolitical standpoint, Russia's absence from the aircraft carrier club, now limited to the United States, China, the United Kingdom, France, and India, could signify a shift in perceived global stature. Furthermore, relying heavily on drones introduces technological vulnerabilities. Electronic warfare has already played a major role in the Ukraine conflict. Jamming and GPS spoofing have rendered many drones ineffective, with reports of them crashing or losing coordination. In a conflict against an adversary with advanced electronic warfare capabilities, such as NATO or the United States, the limitations of drones could quickly be exposed. Also looming is the supply chain challenge. Despite Russia's rapid industrial mobilization, the ability to consistently produce sophisticated drones at scale is hindered by Western sanctions, particularly restrictions on semiconductor components. Many high-performance drones depend on imported microchips and advanced optical sensors, which may be difficult to procure or replace locally. Russia's decision can be viewed through two lenses. On one hand, it reflects pragmatism. The costs of sustaining a Cold War-era symbol outweighed the benefits. Redirecting those resources to modern, flexible, and scalable platforms aligns with the realities of contemporary warfare. On the other hand, it may also reflect necessity masquerading as strategy. With its economy under strain, sanctions tightening, and its military engaged in prolonged conflict, Russia may simply be unable to afford traditional power projection tools. If that is the case, its drone doctrine may be less a visionary leap and more a compromise shaped by circumstance. Domestically, reactions to the Kuznetsov's retirement are mixed. Some Russians express relief at discarding a burdensome relic. Others mourn the symbolic loss of a national icon, once a totem of Soviet naval ambition. The visual of the ship's dismantling, juxtaposed with the rising prominence of its Chinese sister ship, the Liaoning, is especially poignant. While one ship is scrapped, the other is thriving under new ownership, a sharp reminder of missed industrial and strategic opportunities. Globally, military analysts agree that the nature of warfare is changing. The future battlefield is likely to be defined not by large vessels or tanks, but by integrated networks of drones, autonomous vehicles, and cyber tools. These technologies enable real-time data sharing, coordinated attacks, and operational flexibility unmatched by traditional platforms. Russia's investment in this future aligns with broader trends toward digitized, intelligent warfare. Artificial intelligence, sensor fusion, and autonomous decision-making are becoming key enablers of military effectiveness. But these technologies also require a strong industrial foundation, advanced research capabilities, and robust logistical systems. The question remains whether Russia can sustain this transformation. Its drone program has shown adaptability and innovation under pressure. But long-term success depends on continued investment, technological resilience, and industrial capacity, challenges made more difficult by ongoing international isolation. Russia's decision to abandon the Admiral Kuznetsov in favor of drone-centered military development represents a significant shift in strategic thinking. It reflects both a response to the realities of modern conflict and an adaptation to economic and industrial constraints. While drones offer flexibility and cost efficiency, they cannot fully replace the strategic advantages of traditional naval power. As the global military landscape continues to evolve, Russia's gamble on unmanned warfare may offer short-term gains, but it also carries risks that could shape its status on the world stage for decades to come. The era of steel giants may be ending, but whether silicon swarms can carry the same weight remains to be seen.